is Do Right at y'all one more again. I'd like to welcome y'all back to my show. The topic is, this is a little bit different. So I hope you like it. And if you don't like it, well, you need to watch it anyway, because by the end, I'm pretty sure you're going to like it. So calm down, shut up, and sit the hell down. All right? I would like to introduce you to my friend, my buddy, my compadre, my partner in crime, but we don't do anything criminal. My friend and yours, Evan.
What's up, y'all?
You don't really understand how hard it was to get this brother on this show. I mean, I literally had to get expedition papers drawn up to send his ass back to Africa if he didn't show up and get on camera with me. So he finally knuckled up and came on the show, and now here we are. We're gonna see how well this is gonna go. He's either gonna crash or burn, or he's gonna soar like an eagle. So let's see what's gonna happen, because I'm curious myself. So this should be good either way. So
Let's go.
today our topic is going to be African American versus American. Now, I've spoke about this to some people, especially with this dude, and we had some pretty good conversations. I think this is going to be a pretty good conversation today. And I feel like I'm an American. I mean, I was born in America. All I know is America. I ain't never been to no Africa. So, do I consider myself an African American? The jury's still out, and they've been sequestered, and they working on they first month of deliberation. So I don't know, but we're gonna talk about it today. And my boys got some really good ideas about this and stuff, and we're just gonna start it off. Start talking.
I'm black. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm an American.
Yeah.
I'm of African descent.
Yeah.
I can't hide it.
So you black American?
Yes. Yes, I am.
No, I'm not mad at that. I ain't got no problem with that, black American. When you fill out those applications or something, some kind of form, and it asks you what your race is, and then some of them say African American, some of them will say black. I don't have no problem with neither one of them. I'm black. I'm black all day long, but I'm not colored. Ain't nobody crayon me in or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I never understood that.
What Crazy Joe say? You ain't got to do but two things.
What's that? Be black and die?
That's it.
Stay black and die. That's what
Because
it is.
the only things you can't change.
You know why they call me Crazy Joe?
They can change out them doors.
No, he said they used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. Oh, I tell you, boy, that's a bad man right there.
Okay.
All right.
But no, I'm black and I'm American. I guess I'm considered African American because I'm of African descent. But I've got close friends that are first generation, Nigerian, for example. They know of their culture. They have their language. You and I don't particularly have that. People that are descendants of slaves, all that was taken away from us. So we kind of just assimilated things, turn into what they are, and this is what you ended up with. Now you can't hide the African aspect of it because of our hair and our appearance, But I guess I do consider myself an American first, but I would never deny and may even volunteer the black part if someone asked me, because I'm proud of it.
No, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm not proud of my African heritage. However, I don't know my African heritage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's people that do research and find out about where they came from and stuff like that, and that's cool. Kudos to them, but I mean, I'm here. I'm here now, and the best thing I could do for my African heritage is to continue on the bloodline, and try to make do with where we at now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get it. But I would like, and I've always said I want to do this, was actually get the genealogy, test done, and actually they can kind of pinpoint you to a region, because with the tribes and everything, they have databases on tribes, but not necessarily countries. So they weren't any of those countries back then. During those slave times, the borders got drawn when some Europeans came down there and set up some borders for everyone when they wanted to start taking all the resources. But that's another show. So I would like to, get some genealogy maybe and see what tribe they can estimate that I came from, and maybe learn about them, because that's about the best you can do at this point. Is it particularly important? No, my life isn't going to change if I do that, but it would be something really nice to know, since that was something that was taken from us, forcefully.
You brought up genealogy, and what's that website they have advertised on TV?
Ancestry.com.
So that's a funny thing. I don't know how many black people actually go on there, but I get on there and my ancestry doesn't go back very far. I mean, I barely can go back one generation. I mean, just from how things were for black people. I mean, especially in the country. I mean, you were born and nobody knew you was born, and you was lucky if you knew your birthday.
Right.
And how long before you actually got a Social Security number?
Right.
And that's 2 generations back. And now what happens when you try to go further? Then what happens?
Right. Yeah, and I know we wanted to do, my family, we used to have family reunions every couple of years. That kind of stopped. Hey, that's what happens. But we were trying to drop a family tree one particular year, and I think we couldn't get any information any earlier than like 1915.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, and that was it. Everything else was just, you had one name, like Sarah, Joe,
Yeah.
and that was it. Colored Negro, we weren't important because we were considered, items. So
Yeah.
it wasn't important to document anything, but, for reasons like that is why I'm unwilling to let go of, my, I don't want to just, call it my blackness, but I guess so, because, they use it as a negative thing for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use that as a positive thing. I'm proud of who I am, of what I am.
Now, how do you use it as a positive thing?
As a positive? I mean,
Brother, you said it.
pride in self,
I hear you on that.
and pride and of my people. That's why I take so much. I don't want to say concern, because I'm not an activist. I'm not really doing anything. I'm not doing anything, to be quite honest. I'm going about my life, but I see the news stories and I hear about the things that are happening to people that look like me, and I see the things that people that look like me are doing. Good and bad, mostly bad, because people only want to see bad stuff. People don't typically get on the internet and go Googling for good things, and if you search for information on any subject, you're typically going to find the bad stuff first. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're second-class citizens, and we're descendants, our people originated in what is literally the richest continent on the planet, but we are some of the poorest people on the planet. And wherever we exist outside of that continent, we are no more than second-class citizens elsewhere. And that bothers me.
Now, now, I don't believe that black people are poorest. I mean, I was looking at an article and it was saying that black people had $11.2 billion worth of spending power in this country. Actually, our dollars could make a difference if we decided to do something with our dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it really said that?
Yeah, it said that. And it was funny because you really look at it. You look at it. There's a lot of money passing through black people's hands. Mm-hmm. I mean, some black people don't spend their money the way they should, but a lot of black people do. I hate to, when you say black people, just like you say white people or anybody else, you grouping all these people into this one ball, and it's like you bounce that ball and it's like, yep, it goes down, it goes up, but that's not how it works. It's almost like you having this bag of bouncing balls, and that's black people or white people, and you drop that ball, and balls start going everywhere because it's not this one. And I hate stereotype, but it's not this one stereotype. You know, not all black people are doing bad. You know what I'm saying? Not all black people are poor or distraughting or anything else. You know what I'm saying? So,
but in
it's
the
hard
media,
for me to
that's
hear
all
that.
you see.
But see,
The only positive black images, not the only, but the majority of the positive black images you see are who? Athletes.
Yeah.
And entertainers, and now the entertainers aren't even positive images no more.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that. That's an interesting point. Go ahead and talk about that.
You know, I wish we had some more Ruby Dees and Ozzie Davises and Harry Belafontes, but they gone and they had no replacements, none. You know what I mean? It's like the people we've got now. I mean, and they're not all bad. I'm not gonna throw everybody out there like that, but I mean, they were entertainers. They were historians. They were activists. You know, our entertainers aren't like that anymore. It's like,
but isn't that because they were in a time where they needed that and were doing that? You know, Harry Belafonte was an activist, and he marched with Martin Luther King. Yes, but Martin Luther King was alive, and there was a need for marches. I mean, just because black actors and black actresses today are not marching and stuff like that doesn't mean that they're not activists in some kind of way, in some kind of fashion, right? You know what I'm saying? So I know how you feel about Empire. I know how you feel about Scandal. We talked about this a lot. And
that's another show.
No, we're going to talk about it today, goddamn. But, you know, I understand how, you know, you have these actors and actresses portrayed in these worlds, and it's like it's not really in a good light, and we are absent of the days of the Cosby Show and everything, which, boy, that's a subject all in itself. But
Bill Cosby did that, not Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, Cliff Huxtable was a good example.
Yes, he was.
I think people should separate the two, but far as with those shows, I think it's a great thing because you didn't see a lot of shows or a lot of movies with strong leading characters that were of a minority base. You know, and to this day, you still don't see it. Man, I was watching Jupiter Ascending yesterday, and I was like, wow, are the only people in the universe white people? And it's like, you can't have nobody else in these roles, which it didn't even call for the role to be played by a white person, but it seemed like the only people that could get these roles are white people. So when I see
the only people they chose to cast,
but still, that's Hollywood. I mean, that's Hollywood. That's not the actors and actresses. And so when I see Scandal, when I see How to Get Away with Murder, I see these strong roles going to, and black females, because I think black females are totally underrated in Hollywood. Absolutely. I feel good because it's like, good, we finally coming up. Maybe the role that they playing is kind of shady, you know, you got to sleep with the president or you trying to kill your husband. But in the past, you couldn't get that. It was a white person doing that, and the black person was the maid watching the white person kill their husband or sleeping with the president.
Are you saying that something's better than nothing?
I'm not saying something is better than nothing, but what I am saying is that change is coming, maybe not as fast as everybody else is thinking, but it's not like it used to be. It's not like it used to be.
It's different.
It's hella different.
It's different. It's just misdirected. It's been redirected, I should say. It was always misdirected. It's been redirected. Oh.
Mr. Do, oh fuck that up. Mr. Do right at y'all one more again. Like to welcome y'all back to the. Nah, fuck that up.